I do have a Santa hat.
Yeah, you can be Black Santa this year.
I don't know if the beard is big enough yet to do that.
Well, you've got 26 days, my friend.
Okay, I'll grow a Santa.
Have you been working on the belly to go with it?
The mac and cheese definitely helps. Definitely help. You guys want to see it?
Yes.
You sure?
Let me end this meeting now.
It's too hot for TV.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
We all are working on the belly, Brandon, after this long Thanksgiving Day weekend. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Amy Rutledge, alongside Mr. Brandon Pope, in for John Hanson, and Miss Felicia Lawrence.
Oh, hey, guys.
You're working on your ho-ho already?
Mrs. Claus is in the building. No. I'm ready. I am fully ready for holidays. Now that Thanksgiving is done, I'm ready.
Yeah, Felicia, you got to get some more bass in that ho, 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 though. You got to go from the diaphragm, okay? Ho, ho, ho. You got to really sell
it. I'll be sure to practice. I'll be practicing.
Let's remind everybody, the overnight parking ban goes into effect technically tomorrow at 3 a.m. Remember, there are two types of parking bans. The one that goes into effect starting tomorrow from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day through April 1st. And then there's the other ban that's another 500 miles of city streets that also is in effect when there's more than 2 inches of snow on the ground. So you really got to watch the street signs across the city of Chicago, or it could cost you somewhere, let's see, $235, something like that.
And a trip to Lower Wacker.
Not a pleasant one for sure.
Yeah, I've been down there.
Not at all. It's stories like this that make me happy that I'm not a driver in the city of Chicago, because all these rules and things you got to watch out for. I've had tons of friends have their car towed. I've had to go help some grab that car. It's not a great experience, but it's the Chicago experience. So I'm glad I'm not sharing that experience. I'm just saying, I can't relate. It sucks, but hey.
All right, let's get to some top news we're talking about today. It turns out Rahm Emanuel's retirement from politics could be really short-lived. The former Chicago mayor is on the short list of candidates for the Secretary of Transportation gig. Axios is reporting that Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, also on that list. If President-elect Joe Biden taps Emanuel for the job, he could anger his base. And people are very split on this, because some people say, Rahm, when he was in the White House under the Obama administration, really did some good deals on both sides of the aisle. But then he's got a Chicago history that is nagging him, namely Laquan McDonald.
Yeah, Rahm Emanuel is a good politician. He knows the White House. He's worked at the highest levels of government. So from that sense, the resume is there. But you wonder, is there someone with more transportation experience that could actually be utilized here? Do you really want to risk making people that upset over Rahm Emanuel? Come on, is he really that good?
Yeah, I mean, he's not the only candidate possibly for this, but he has the government spending experience that I think you would need for a position like that. And he's a strategy guy. I'm not saying I'm a Ron fan, but he's a strategy guy. So I could totally see him being in this position and good for this position. And of course, the White House experience that you mentioned, Brandon. Just don't put him anywhere near policing and it'll be okay.
Hey, and as somebody who covered transportation for quite some time, he did make a lot of changes on the CTA. He spent billions of dollars in infrastructure to try and correct some of the things that were lagging from the Daley administration. So in those terms, yeah, kind of good. But then you think about the whole Elon Musk, the speed tunnel to O'Hare from Block 37, and that went really quickly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. In addition, I think how he also made the city like a biking city. He made that more apparent in the city and everything. So, that grew a lot under his administration.
Yeah, at this point, Joe Biden's got a tough job because he's got to unify the country and the Democrats. And Rahm Emanuel doesn't unify the Democrats at all, really anybody, especially in Chicago. I wonder if you guys saw this. A rented red Ferrari was nearly totaled along Lakeshore Drive over the weekend. Take a look at these photos from the Chicago Fire Department. The exotic car wiped out near the curve by Oak Street Beach, and you can see there it flipped on its roof, and then it caught fire. There were 2 people inside. They were hurt, but fortunately those injuries are described as minor and they were able to get out with their life. The cost to rent a Ferrari can set you back anywhere from $995 to $2,500 per day. So if you are renting a Ferrari, maybe don't speed it so fast along that Lakeshore Drive curve.
Yeah, that curve right there, that's basically a 90-degree curve. I was actually just riding by there yesterday on my way to get some chocolate up north, another story. And we could see where the barrier was missing and how it was just like blackened and everything from the fire. So it was clearly, the pictures say it all, it was clearly a bad crash. In addition to going slow, doing the speed limit on that curve, also make sure you get rental insurance. Don't ever skip the insurance. I'm not saying that they didn't. It's just a reminder.
I guarantee you there is some sort of insurance with these rental cars that are like this. So I don't know how much these people who are driving are going to be out. You know, this happens. That is a very dangerous stretch in Chicago. But these companies know that this stuff could happen. So, you know, I'm sure something is covered. I'm just glad the people are okay.
Yeah. Marisha Wallace is an actress and powerhouse singer in the musical theater world. And while recovering from COVID-19, she recorded music to help raise funds for the theater industry. But it did so much more. She joins us now to tell her story. Marisha, thank you for being here. So we know you got COVID. How are you doing now?
I'm fine now. I got it early in the game in March. It was scary. I was sick for about 3 weeks, but I survived, thank God. But, you know, I lived to tell the tale, and some other good things came out of a bad situation. So it's been all right.
Girl, some other amazing things came out of a not so good situation. Your future is just unfolding right before our eyes. So you took a negative, turned it into a positive by recording a song, which has led to you getting a music deal. Fill us in. Tell us what happened.
Well, I was recovering from coronavirus and I was feeling tired and helpless and like the world was falling apart. And I'm a helper. And I was like, what can I do to help? And there were so many theater professionals and people in the industry, makeup, backstage, who, even if they have 2 weeks off of work, you know, that's the difference between paying your rent and not. So I wanted to raise money to help them have a little bit of money for bills and food and everything else. So I reached out to Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, BCFA, and also to Mad Trust UK here in London. And we used this charity single. I sang, you know, Tomorrow from Annie and slowed it down, gave it a gospel soul treatment, and it became this huge viral sensation. And we even got RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars to lip sync to it. And it's led to this record deal with Universal and an album that's also called Tomorrow. So it's been an amazing journey this whole year.
Oh my gosh, yes. You have music that is also featured with Jingle Jangle, the new Netflix movie that everybody is talking about right now. What kind of music?
Well, I am the singing voice of Mrs. Johnston, and I sing the song Miles and Miles in the show. And I actually recorded this about 2 years ago. I was doing Waitress here in the UK, and they asked me to be a part of the music team of this new movie. And you just never know what these things are going to turn into. But I got to infuse my church gospel soul thing that I've, you know, kind of almost had to kind of tone down for so many years, because, you know, when you're doing Broadway, you got to tone down, but they just let me go. And it was just like so amazing. And the song, you know, has done so well already. And the movie has been #1 in the UK, #1 in the US. And I think after, you know, going into Christmas is even going to be bigger and better.
And speaking of Netflix, the series show Feel Good, you're a part of that too. Doesn't that have Lisa Kudrow in it?
Yeah, it does. Feel Good is coming out for season 2. I'm going to be part of that. So that's super exciting. We are currently shooting now. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
Where are you from specifically? Because we want you, we know you're in London right now. We want you back here all to ourselves.
I'm from North Carolina originally.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. But I was planning to come back, and then, you know, the pandemic happened, and then I got a record deal. So I was like, well, just stay here. And, you know, everything has been going so well here. I sang for the Queen. I'm going to be singing for the royal family again this weekend.
Sang for the Queen. What was that like?
that was crazy because the first time I sang for the Queen, it was because someone had gotten coronavirus. And so they were like, can you get to the theater in an hour and a half? So I literally learned the song in the car, got there, did hair and makeup, and was on stage singing for the Queen.
You can keep up with Marisha on social media. For more information on her album Tomorrow, visit her website. That's marishawallace.com. This is somebody that you need to know. Girlfriend is doing big things, and I'll send it over to my other girlfriends also doing big things. Dee, Krista, what's up?
Hey, okay, don't hate me, but Northwestern football fans, you got to make plans for next weekend. The game is canceled. I'll tell you everything that you need to know coming up in news that you need to know. Krista?
Oh, come on, Dee. Come on, really? You know I'm a huge college football fan. Ugh. Well, guys, okay, there is this trending hashtag, and it's all about changing up those classic Christmas songs. I'll tell you what we did with them coming up in just a bit. We'll be right back.
COVID cases are up, restrictions are getting tighter, the holidays are here, and a lot of us are under tremendous amount of stress. Turning to drugs and alcohol, certainly not going to be the answer. Author and life coach Adam Jablin is here with some tips, and we certainly need them right now.
Thanks for having me, Amy. I'm happy to be here. Let's get into it.
Okay, first, I guess, really, how do you know if you have a problem? Because you may have been drinking a little bit more in quarantine, but maybe now with the holidays, it's a little bit more than a little bit more.
Sure. One of the things that I like to describe to people is, look, enjoy what you enjoy. But once that substance starts controlling you rather than you controlling it, that's when it's time to really take a look at it. You know, there's a difference between, okay, we're going to open wine a little earlier. It's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, whatever it is. But when it's on your mind the whole time, when are we going to drink? When are we going to drink? When are we going to open? When can I pour? When can I pour? When are they going to be here? Well, it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. When those thoughts start coming, it's time to take a look at it.
do as an individual A to identify that? And then what do you do as a friend or a family member and you see somebody who might be heading down that road?
Okay, two really totally different questions, okay?
Yeah.
If it's you, the main thing I would want to suggest to that person is start doing little things like tracking it, being aware of it, because maybe it's just stress and not that time. I hate to make people overly consumed with, am I an alcoholic and an addict, if they're not there yet, but start tracking and being aware of it, just like people would if they were on a diet and trying to, track their calories and proteins and fats and stuff like that. If it's starting to really bother you, make sure you share it with one person you trust, just one. We don't need to spread it like wildfire, but get it out of you, get it out in the open. The person that cares about you will probably ask a lot of questions that you could look a little deeper at your behavior. And I'm praying that you catch it early and before it's too late. And you're like me, who is, 14 and a half years in recovery. Now, if it's family members, the main thing I always say is please make sure that everybody is on the same page when addressing your loved one. Because if mom has a problem or daddy has a problem, however you want to word this, but not everyone's on the same page. So the in-laws may not think so, or mom and dad doesn't think so, or one kid thinks it's okay and the other doesn't. The person that has the issue is going to obviously side with the family members that think they're fine.
Right.
And you start creating more of an issue than solving a real problem. So healthy communication is really the first step in addressing somebody's drinking and drugging.
We just came out of, a long holiday weekend where, maybe the wine came out on Wednesday night. And then, of course, it was Thanksgiving on Thursday. And, did it come out again on Friday? Because then it was Friday and then it was Saturday. And is this a time when you're going to see it magnified?
100%. Now, look, I'm all for celebrating. I'm all for celebrating. But there was a reason that I'm on this show right now. It's going to be magnified because of the holidays. It's going to be magnified because of COVID. It's going to be magnified because COVID mixed with the holidays and people are either stressed out, having to just been on a plane, quarantine, Zooming their in-laws, Zooming their parents. It's a weird, weird time.
Yeah.
So it'd be healthy for people to just be aware. Just be aware right now.
Make sure to check out Adam's book, Lotsaholic, From Sick to a Sober Superman. And of course, his website where you can get some more information on his hero project at adamjablin.com.
I'm Diana Gutierrez with the news you need to know to end your day. An Oregon man is being held without bail and facing murder charges after he pulled out a gun and shot a 19-year-old black teen in the chest. Police say the two were arguing in a hotel parking lot over the volume of that teen, Aiden Ellison's music. Now, it seems like the Supreme Court might avoid issuing a ruling on the Trump administration's effort to exclude undocumented individuals from being counted in the census. The justices suggested there just isn't enough time to review the matter, rather than focusing on the time rather than if the president has this authority to do this. And it looks like there has been a dip in COVID cases. Well, I hate to say it, but not really. Health experts say less testing was done over the holiday weekend. 6,100 new cases and 85 deaths were reported in Illinois today. College football fans, the Northwestern-Minnesota game ain't happening. The game slated for Saturday was canceled after 21 Minnesota players and 26 staffers tested positive for COVID-19. Now, this isn't the first time that Minnesota has had to cancel a game, which I guess we can say it makes sense if you are dealing with so many cases on a team, on a program. It makes sense to take these precautions, as, I guess crazy as it sounds to have to skip a game.
Yeah, this is what happens when you do football in a pandemic. You're going to miss some games. And the Big Ten right now is in disaster mode because they left themselves no room for error. Every game has to either be played or gets canceled, which means for teams like Northwestern, your chances of getting to the college football playoff, if they're gonna look and compare you to a team that has 10 games they played versus your 6, that could put you at a disadvantage, and Northwestern just lost a game as well. So doesn't look great there, but the silver lining is Northwestern could still win the Big Ten.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They started this entire season knowing this very well could happen. And as cases started rising, they had to have known somebody was going down. Some team was going down, some game, when playoff game was going down, it was going to happen. They were probably hoping it wasn't going to happen to them, but that's a gamble that they were willing to take. And unfortunately, they also took it with people's lives on the line. And that's what really bugs me.
Geez, Amy, somebody's going down.
Just saying. Well, I mean, they had to know going into this that somebody was going to get sick.
Yeah.
You are so right. A lot of disappointed fans, including Krista Green. She's a big college football fan, and this is certainly what you weren't expecting.
I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, we are about to remix some Christmas songs. You do not want to miss this. It's going to be good. And as we head to break, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on CW26. We will be right back. Don't touch that remote. Don't do it. Okay, guys, I love my hashtag challenges, and hashtag add one word, ruin a Christmas song has been trending all day. So let me just give you a little taste with this gem of an example right here on Twitter that I saw. It's called, this person wrote out Silent Night Sweats. So yeah, no, not that typical Silent Night song that you love. It's the Night Sweats. Gross. So each of us came up with our own ruined Christmas song by adding a word. Deanna, let's start with you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I was thinking about this, and one of my favorite songs is Please Come Home for Christmas. And for me, like for our stuff, we have to do a facial expression. Please don't come home for Christmas, okay? Don't do it. Don't come home. Stay over there.
That's too good. That's too good. I love your mask there. Is that a little Drake mask? All right, guys, here's mine. Here's mine. Now, I'm dreaming not of a white Christmas. I'm dreaming of a white claw Christmas.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Photoshop.
Very on brand. Very on brand.
That's a good one. I like that. Okay, here's mine. Hard rocking around the Christmas tree.
Fierce, girl.
All right, I took mine in a dark direction, okay? Ready for this one? Oh, little slum of Bethlehem.
No.
Oh, no. It was a nice song, Amy.
Love the picture.
Come on, Joseph. Get her a push present.
That was my pregnancy picture. Yay.
Oh, boy. All right, guys. Here is mine. I had kind of my mind in the gutter, I guess, but I thought Santa Claus is coming to Pound Town. Set to be a big hit from what I saw. What a great picture. That just screams holiday. Like a sexy holiday hit.
No, this you might have just ruined my Christmas.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just kidding. Tell us yours, guys. I posted this on our Instagram story too. So hop on our Instagram at the GMTV Show. Let us know what word you would ruin with a classic Christmas song. We want to see them.
Some of them are too funny.
They're funny. We'll be right back, guys.
All right, we're going to be talking about a very, very hot topic on Twitter today in our deep dish. A Dallas restaurant owner in hot water catching flack for the way he scolded people within the restaurant for twerking in the establishment. Yeah. So twerking in a restaurant. Yes, no, in a pandemic, probably a bad idea.
Everybody is talking about this story, and I can't wait to go in because my house is completely split. You know, my husband owns a restaurant, so I cannot wait to get into this.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, do they have a DJ or is it a family restaurant like a steakhouse or something, and people were just getting up and dancing in the middle of tables? That changes the atmosphere.
They were
the music
twerking.
Too. Yeah, I've been to this place. It's not family, but it's also not a club lounge. So we'll see. We're going to dive into it. I'm pro seeing twerking wherever I go, though, as a guy. Why not?
Okay.
I'm not against that.
Let's move on.
Who could be against that?
He goes in on guys, too, and that's what I thought was really interesting. He goes in on the guys and the girls.
He did.
You'll have to stick around to hear that.
Made an interesting point for sure. No doubt.
Okay. Brandon loves
deep
twerking.
dish coming up
Got
next.
it.
Oh, you know that music. You know what time it is. Thanks for joining us and welcome to The Jam. I'm Amy Rutledge alongside Brandon Pope and Miss Felicia Lawrence.
Hey.
Happy Monday. Time to get things started. Another week.
Yes, another week. Hey, and we want to thank everybody who participated in our Coats for Kids drive with CD1 price cleaners. Today is the last day that you can drop off coats at any participating CD1 price to help get kids that don't have coats, keep them warm this winter. New or gently used coats, go to any price cleaners through the end of the day today. A wonderful drive with our partners there.
Awesome. Well, a couple of local bakers are looking to make it big. John Hanson caught up with them to talk about their holiday reality show experience.
All right, the holidays are a lot of times when people make an effort to do some baking. Maybe they're not professionals and need a little help along the way. And that's why we got Eddie Vazquez from Rosie's Bakery and Blake Shelton from Black Rose Pastries. Guys, how you doing?
Hey, we're feeling good, man. How are you?
Good. Well, you guys are 2/3 of a team that competed in the Big Bake, representing Northwest Indiana and our area too. First and foremost, I know it's a pressure baking show, I guess you could say. What was that like?
Man, talk about intense. It was fun. It was passionate. And overall, it was intense. So much to do in so little time.
Eddie?
Yeah, it feels great to represent Chicago, in Canada, doing what we do best, which is edible arts masterpieces,
That's what's so unique about baking is that, yes, of course, it's a culinary experience, but it is very much an artistic one too, Blaque.
Yes, it absolutely is. Being able to just kind of express myself in an edible medium, right? So I can't really go wrong here because at the end of the day, guess what? It's food and I get to eat it.
Eddie, what's your one piece of advice for someone that doesn't bake that is going to make a good effort here this holiday season?
Well, I believe it's a great opportunity for those people that haven't ever baked before to start doing so. Now that we can't be going out as much, I think it's a great time for them to start experiencing new things at home.
Help me out. We're going to make a gingerbread man, right? Why not?
Let's make a gingerbread man.
All right, walk us through it.
So the first thing, obviously, is you want to get your cookie dough. So obviously, we got some good old cookies here. These are just gingerbread cookies cut out and baked to whatever temperature until they're done. And then you want to get you some royal icing. I like to use royal icing. The stuff kind of dries firm, but it's sweet. Just put it on there. Slap it on whatever way you want to. If you got yourself like a little piping bag, then you want to put it in there for better control. And then just kind of go to town.
See, that was so quick and easy. I know it's harder than that, but what I like about it is it can be creative. It can be fun with kids or even virtually. I think it'd be fun if different households, were doing the same standard gingerbread man, and then they got to design it and then they show it off over Zoom.
Exactly. And that's what we're aiming for here. So we made a couple of gingerbread people. It's like a little couple almost. It's like a little couple.
Oh, a little bow tie there. There we go.
Yeah, a little hair bow, and it's something simple and it's something that's fun and going to be good for the family and all the kids and just a good bonding experience.
So I just want to ask before we let you guys go, Eddie first, Rosie's Bakery, you guys hanging in there? I know this is not the easiest time to be operating.
Yeah, I think things are hard. But we are thankfully essential business. So we are here for you guys. I just want to invite everybody to come try your stuff. Blaque Rose Pastries as well.
Yeah.
So we really hope you guys enjoy our recipe gingerbread for this holidays.
Yeah, and be sure to check out their episode of The Big Bake as well. Eddie and Blaque, let's get the information up on the screen for Rosie's Bakery and Blaque Rose Pastries. Oh, look at that. There we are. Perfect. Check them out. And guys, check you guys out. Take care, okay?
All that food talk making me hungry. Well, eat at home. That's what someone sprayed on an outdoor dining tent in the West Loop. Several tents along West Randolph Street, including those for Bar Sienna and Formentos, were hit by vandals over the weekend. My thing is, these restaurants are going through enough as it is right now. Why do all this? What is the point?
Well, and I will never condone damaging someone else's property or any kind of a crime. But they are saying that these tents, if it has sides down, are just as dangerous as being indoor facility. So I can see people getting frustrated with them just moving their facility to the outside location, but still having all the closed tents. There are other ways to go about getting your message across than vandalizing something. But I also don't think people should be eating in those tents either. It's got to have some open airflow.
Yeah, I don't support the tents, but there's no one solution fits all during this pandemic. These restaurants, these businesses are struggling. And the person that vandalized this tent, they were not thinking about the servers who need that job. They were not thinking about the bussers and the bartenders and of course the restaurant owners. They're trying to keep the business all together. People are struggling out here. There's been no stimulus checks to be passed. They need to put food on their tables. So while you look at dining out as something trivial that's not needed, a lot of people do need it. They weren't thinking about that.
Order curbside delivery.
Yeah, I know there's a pandemic. I'm not saying what's right or what's wrong, but there's no one solution fits all here. It's a pandemic.
Yeah, and the cost to have that tent as well. That tent costs money too, and all the specifications to have the outdoor dining in the winter. It's rough all around. Deanna, what's up?
All right, guys, speaking about hot topics here, still ahead, more controversies surrounding the city's red light cameras. And as we head to break, here's John and Luke Cairo with tips on how to get ready for a virtual court appearance.
I am in big trouble. I got to go to court today. I took Felicia's Lexus and I drove it into a fire hydrant a couple weeks ago. Then I took her Maserati and drove it into a mailbox. So she's suing me. I got to go to court later on today. But I got Luke Cairo. I figured I'd call him up virtually. Luke Cairo, you got some tips for me for this court hearing virtually. What am I going to do, Lou?
Well, first of all, I hope your court hearing isn't today, God willing, unless you have a lot of time to prepare for it.
It's in a bit, yeah. Yeah, is it going to be okay?
Okay, is this in person or is this going to be a video conferencing court appearance?
It's video, thank goodness. Can I do it from bed?
Probably a good suggestion to find an alternate venue to do this particular appearance, John. Unless I don't know what your court appearance is for, but if you want to be found guilty, you're in perfect shape for it right now.
Hold on, does it really matter what I look like, what I sound like if I'm appearing before a judge? I mean, don't the facts speak for themselves?
Well, what's going to speak loudly or more loudly than anything is going to be the impression we walk in the courtroom. And if you're going to do this on a Zoom conference, you're walking in the courtroom and what we see is what the judge is going to get. And a guilty verdict is probably what you're going to get in the long run.
All right, well, let me give you a couple of details on my case. So
okay. John, hey, mute button. Hit the mute button.
Entire liter of tequila.
I heard like 2 words of what you said. So first of all, you got to make sure you know where the mute button is because you don't want to hit the mute button inadvertently.
Okay.
You want to make sure you know at all times, assume that the mic is on. You'd hate to say the wrong thing and the judge hear you. Okay. By the way, are you gonna do your appearance from where you're at? Please tell me no.
Hold on. Tell you what, can you give me 1 more minute, Lou? Is it wrong to ask a lawyer for a little bit more time? Can I do a sidebar?
Well, if your sidebar includes getting cleaned up, getting in a better venue, getting yourself looking a little more presentable for this appearance, probably a good idea to ask for the sidebar, and I'm happy to give it to you.
All right, hold on. How do I get out of this meeting?
You got to know how to find the video off button. I hope John comes back and he looks a little more presentable because walking into a courtroom on your feet or doing it in a Zoom conference, you want to look professional. You want to look respectful. We got to make sure he's got his Wi-Fi connection strong. You got to make sure he doesn't have his cats or his kids or his dogs running around making noise. We want to make sure that the lighting is good. We get him oriented in the middle of the screen, not to one side, not real low, not inside, right inside of the lens of the camera. We got to make sure that we get John set up.
Is this a little bit more ready for an appearance?
John, right now I'm feeling so much more relieved for you, and I'm thinking you may actually even have a shot at getting found not guilty for these offenses that you're being charged with.
Any other pieces of advice so that people can feel prepared? I imagine a lot of it is talking to people like you.
Yeah, well, first thing you got to do if you're going to court, and particularly if you're going without a lawyer, you better be really prepared. But even if you go with a lawyer, I think that this has been a great little lesson for you and for your viewers that you want to make sure that you look the part. A lot of people feel, because I'm sitting in my living room at home, or right now I'm sitting in my office at home, it can be more lax. You can be laid back. And people that kind of sit back and they kind of relax like this, or they're listening to the judge and they're looking on their phone and they're texting somebody, hey, it's going really great, I'm kicking butt here. You know, really the wrong thing to do.
Keep it safe, right? Like if you're going to court, you want to look presentable, you want to be respectful. Don't think that should go away if it's done virtually.
Right. It should be absolutely no different than if you are in front of a judge. You may be in your gym shorts, but you've got a nice shirt, collared shirt, you've got a nice sweater on or a sport coat, whatever you're going to wear. Give that good impression, look professional, you become more credible. When you are more credible, you have a better chance of sustaining your burden, whether you're the plaintiff or you're the defendant.
Amen. And I just have water in here. I promise it's nothing else. I'm ready for court. Thanks, Luke Cairo.
I'm Diana Gutierrez with the news you need to know to wrap your day up. Out of the 13 red light and speed tickets issued to Mayor Lori Lightfoot's security detail, 10 were dismissed. The Chicago Tribune found during some of those trips, the mayor wasn't attending any city-related events. Now, in her defense, a spokesperson says the mayor's security detail is a two-car team, so they are trained and they have to travel together, of course. The general idea here for the protection of the mayor. And it's upsetting a lot of people that, they have not come out to say who is going to be paying for these tickets, right? So I don't know. I've seen a lot of cops just kind of swing by past. I mean, it's tough to say. I understand the two-car team and all that nonsense, but whoa.
Yeah, so to add to your explanation, so if one car goes through the light and the second car is stuck, they're going to speed through the light and otherwise end up with a ticket. I think this is a little silly. I get the frustration. People are always ready to go in, especially when it comes to tickets, especially then. And I'm on the bandwagon for sure, but we have bigger fish to fry. There are other things that we need to focus on as far as policing. They can check to see if these city cars have city stickers. Now, that is one fee I get upset about, that sticker that goes in the windshield, but we need to just move on, guys.
I actually was pretty impressed with the fact that 10 of 13, so 3 of them they thought were justified. So they are at least looking at them as individual cases and then issuing tickets instead of just blanket saying, oh, no, they get a pass,
True.
A lot of activists and critics call Lori Lightfoot Rahm 2.0, but her predecessor, Rahm Emanuel, when this happened to his security detail team, he actually paid all the tickets out of pocket because he believed in the standard that you can't have different things for different people. You got to abide by the rules if you're going to set them. So it's a bad look overall, in my opinion.
Absolutely, but he didn't stop getting those tickets. I think there was a list of tickets that continued after that, but that's a good point, Brendan, to bring up right now. The other story here happening in the community in North Lawndale, the community is split on what schools should stay in the neighborhood, which ones should go out. Now, there's two community groups that put a proposal into CPS for a new STEM elementary school to serve up to 700 students. Now, a lot of community members are upset because those community groups have an intent to close Lawndale Community Academy, Sumner Math and Science Community Academy, and Crown Community Academy of Fine Arts. Those are in the neighborhoods of North Lawndale and Little Village. They are saying that there's a potential threat of kids getting to school with the gang activity and violence kind of interfering them getting to school. Now, I understand this, but all those 3 schools have about 30% or less of attendance coming in. So, what do you do then when you don't have kids showing up at the school?
Yeah, the issue here is accessibility. If they bring in this new STEM school, is it going to be accessible to all these students who are having their school shut down as a result? And likely the answer to that is no. It creates just more disparity, in my opinion, and I'm sure that's why a lot of activists are upset as well.
Listen, as a parent, I sit on 2 sides of the fence, as many do, I'm sure. If my kid has to walk through gang territory to get to a new school, then no way in Hades do I want them going. However, if I'm going to be closer to that at new school and it's going to bring more resources to all the students in the neighborhood, then I am all for it, because as Diana mentioned, only a third of capacity are at each one of these schools, so a lot of resources are being wasted.
Yeah, this is very similar to what was happening in Inglewood and a couple other places on the south side in terms of whether or not they should be shutting down these schools. I can't say that I have all the answers of what should happen here, but I think, echo the sentiment that people are 100% tired of having these public education issue conversations in Chicago surrounding the public education and what we need and what's going on with these schools. It just gets tiring. And this is all just related to gentrification and what's going on and the lack of investment and disinvestment in our neighborhoods. It's all connected. We can't fix one problem without fixing all the others.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I guess it's
let's
when we're go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's brighten this conversation up a little bit.
Please.
Look at mommy. Did you say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Merry Christmas. Tis the season to show off your holiday lights. So my family put up our tree over the holiday weekend. We got a new toy for the Christmas tree and they were super excited. So if you're planning on
Look
doing
how they
so
have to touch
too,
it.
I know, of course, right?
That's
Snap
a cool
photo
tool.
and share it with us at cw26chicago.com. We are partnering with ComEd's Energy Efficiency Program to bring you holiday lights. We're going to feature your images on air and on our social media. Back.
Well, you know, as a kid, I never feared Santa. Santa feared me.
Oh.
So, you know,
What is happening, people? I'm KG, Krista Green, and here's my top 3 stories that caught my eye today. First up, all American fans, this is for you, okay? Season 3 has been announced, and everybody from the cast is posting on IG. This amazing little promo here looks awesome. So keep those stretchy holiday pants handy so you can properly enjoy Season 3 from your couch. January 18th, 2021. Pencil it in. You can catch it all on CW26. Okay, and this next one blew my mind. So this is coming back to surface. Okay, this is a Project Runway star from 2019. His name is COVID with a K. Oh. Now they had this challenge, a head-to-toe challenge, and he created this suit with a mask. Let me repeat, it's from 2019. A year ago, okay? People are calling this predictive programming. It's blowing people's minds. I still can't get over it. I mean, he called it all. All right. Oof. And lastly, last story. Bella Hadid, the supermodel, she posted a mac and cheese video to her story. You know, Thanksgiving over the weekend, and we need to look at this together. We need to figure this out because something went terribly wrong here. Okay, I even called our Brandon Pope my mac and cheese master on Thanksgiving because I needed help, but not as much help as Bella Hadid needed. Why is it so soupy?
That's a great question. She probably added too much milk, especially buttermilk. If you do like more than a cup and a half, then that's ridiculous. And if you think it's going to be too soupy, add some sour cream to thicken it up. Like that, it should never be that runny. That looks bad.
No,
Couldn't
good start
also
over,
just be
baby.
like fresh out of the oven and it hasn't thickened up yet?
But why would she post that?
Amy, the non-cook. No,
I know,
mac and cheese is an all-star of many Black American Thanksgivings and other functions. You do not mess the mac and cheese up. And if you get the opportunity to make the mac and cheese, you better be experienced. Brandon Pope can speak to this. He was the mac and cheese maker. And how many years did you have to put in an application to get that status, Brandon?
Oh, it was a lifetime gig. I had to really work at it for 26 years. And now I'm in year 2 of making the mac. It's an honor.
Yes. Well, and he'll probably have that honor for the next 65 years.
There you go.
You can see why people got so upset over this. I mean, social media was uproar about it. It looked gross. And Brandon, I said,
here's how much fun. It's just mac and cheese. I mean, we're talking about, a side dish on Thanksgiving. People get upset about it.
Amy.
Other things to get
you
upset
don't
about,
understand.
Right?
It's a big deal, Amy. This is a big deal.
Amy, did you hear what I just said? It is the all-star of Thanksgiving.
It's a side dish.
You know
There are
what?
other things
She
in
may
this
have used
world,
Velveeta.
people.
That was the problem.
Amy's also not the chef. She just is the eater.
We gotta remember
Hey.
too, it's Bella Hadid, okay? Is she even really
That's
eating it?
true.
Who knows? It was probably
Yeah,
all dairy-free, gluten-free, all the frees.
Right.
Who even knows if she had noodles? It probably wasn't even cheese.
Yeah. Hashtag save Bella. Okay, guys, we'll keep it going. Coming up later on The U, actress and singer Jill Scott has a candid conversation with Tamron Hall about celebrating the ups and downs of life.
It means that we're all fallible. You know, we all get things wrong. We all go left, but that's a part of humanity. You can't ignore the left side of right. You know, you just can't. It would be a shame. You'd be missing out on so much of your existence by only focusing on the good parts.
Big interview. I'm a huge fan of Jill Scott, so I'll be catching the full interview tonight after Dr. Phil at 8 on The U. We'll be right back. Okay, time for Deep Dish.
Bring it on. It's a part of the show where we dish about ourselves or dish about each other. This one is really interesting. A Dallas restaurant is catching flack for the way the owner handled people twerking in his restaurant. It's called True Kitchen and Cocktails. Delicious food, great cocktails. I've been there in Dallas. This video went viral of both a woman standing on a chair and against the glass in the facility and twerking, and then the owner scolding all the women in the place about it. He told them, if you want to do it, get the F out because I don't need your money. He was pretty upset. He also posted on Instagram today to clear things up and showed video of him begging people several times to stop. Me personally, I'm on the owner's side with this. I mean, it's about self-control. Yeah, you can play Meg the Stallion at a place. That means you don't have to act up, though. You can twerk in your chair. I might be twerking right now for all you know. You don't got to get up to do it.
There's so much to unpack here. I do want to make it clear the restaurant owner was saying that he created his restaurant because he wanted to have a place for the African American people and all people to come that is a nice upstanding part of the community. And he feels like twerking and dancing like that just tears all that down. My husband, who owns a restaurant, says he agrees 100% with the owner. However, he would not have told people to get the F out of his restaurant. That's still business and money, okay? Don't play with that.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a
I don't know.
pandemic. He said, I don't need your money. I'm like, yeah, you do. Just watch your tone.
Right. To each his own.